Jeff's got a special feature for us. Been looking forward to this all morning long, as a matter of fact. Jeff has selected a certain number of Elvis cars, and from what I understand, he had about, once he became famous, about 25 cars.
Yeah, 25, 35, depending on, what.
Yeah, if you want to call it his car or not.
His car. Yeah. So I selected some because not all of them were Cadillacs, and he was very big on the, buying a Cadillac and giving it away. So we're going to get this going.
Okay. You're a drummer. You can do more than one thing at a time.
I can.
You would think.
I can. So this first one is a 41 Lincoln. In the early 50s, Elvis bought his first car, a 41 Lincoln. But back in those days, Elvis was a truck driver. We all knew that before he became famous. So he bought a secondhand Lincoln, and as all he could afford, it wasn't reliable. So Elvis used to tell all the reporters and folks that he knew that he pushed the car more than he drove it. Yeah. And his next one that he got is a BMW. It's a 507. In the late 50s, Elvis entered the U.S. Armed Forces, where he went to Germany. He was already world famous because of his singing. He enlisted in the Army, so his treatment was a little bit better than the rest of the soldiers. When he got to Germany, the first car was the VW Beetle. Soon, he leased the white BMW 507 Roadster. Elvis wasn't a good manual transmission driver, but he loved the lines of the Roadster. He traded the white one in for a red one with an automatic transmission. He wasn't a very good stick driver. Not at all. Play guitar really
Today's millennial.
Yeah, today's millennial. And the next one he had in his collection was a Rolls-Royce Phantom 5. Immediately after his discharge from the Army, Elvis signed a new contract, so he treated himself to a new car, which was the top of the line Rolls-Royce Phantom 5.
Colonel Parker let him spend that kind of money?
Well, I guess he did. The car was the most expensive luxury limousine money could buy in the 60s. They delivered the Phantom straight to Graceland. It's not the only Rolls-Royce Elvis owned, but it was his first. Elvis must have liked the Rolls-Royce because he bought a Silver Cloud shortly after that, which, as a limousine, that was a pretty expensive car back then. And, of course, who could forget the 1962 Ford Thunderbird? Presley was an impulsive shopper because when it came to cars, that's what he liked to do. So it's not strange that he bought a 62 Thunderbird Roadster as soon as he saw one at a Memphis area dealership. In 62, the Thunderbird was one of the most interesting American luxury models, and its rocket-inspired styling and powerful engine is what Elvis really thought was, the cat's meow back then. Can we say that?
Yep.
Mercedes 600 is this next one. One of the rarest European luxury sedans was the legendary Mercedes 600. Elvis bought it in 70. In those days, the Mercedes 600 was the choice of dictators, world celebrities, and most famous rock stars, so naturally, Elvis had to have one. Although the car had a California license plate, fans often saw him driving this vehicle around in Las Vegas. So he did drive it, and that's where he took it, Las Vegas. Now, this next one, sad to say, he didn't own it, but it's the last one he drove in. He took a ride in this one.
He rode in it. Cadillac
Miller Mentor Traditional Hearse. The last Cadillac Elvis rode in 1977 hearse, which they used in a funeral procession. It was a white hearse in front of a long line of motorcade of motorcycles, of the Cadillacs, police vehicles, police motorcycles, dignitaries. It was an appropriate way to say farewell to the King of Rock.
I wonder who owns that hearse
say
today.
if somebody knows where this specific car is today.
Yeah, it's probably in a museum or some private collection. But, they did it because he was the biggest car enthusiast back in the day.
George said that Graceland had quite a good car museum there of various Elvis cars.
Well, matter of fact, the one I visited there, and that was probably about 1980-ish, the only time I've ever been there. They had the pink Cadillac was outside under a cover, but it was outside. You can go and look at it if you wanted to. I don't know what they've done. I'm sure that they've done a lot since then.
He owned a 66 Mustang. He had it for a short time and gave it to a neighbor or something because he didn't like it. He just bought it on an impulse because that's what he would do. He had a lot of Cadillacs. He had a lot of Lincolns.
And he gave his mother several Cadillacs.
Well, there's one that he bought for the band, a big Fleetwood Cadillac for the band, and it caught fire. Destroyed it, so he bought another one.
I've been there twice. And once we did tour, but when I was a kid, and I'm talking about like 14, 15, we went there to see an uncle.
So in
Elvis
other
was
words,
probably still alive.
Yeah, he was
stood
still
outside
alive.
the gate.
The gate was open. No, I got pictures of us on the front steps. We were too scared to ring the doorbell in case somebody answered. We thought we were just drove in, we'd get some pictures and leave, but we should have. I wish we'd had enough guts to ring the doorbell. But the gates to Graceland was open.
Then he probably wasn't there.
Well, that's what we kind of thought, but we were afraid they'd call the cops on us or something. So
Was it the famous gate with the music notes on it?
Yeah. I got pictures of it out there. We're standing right there by the door with the big white columns and stuff. And it was.
I've been to Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Yep. Found a rock in the little rock wall out front. Was kind of loose, and I was sitting there working on it, trying to see if I could get a rock off the rock wall at Graceland. I didn't.
If you did, you would have been a rock star.
Yeah, just like Elvis. Mm-hmm. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeart Radio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are available at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets around. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Tailpipes